Gone Fishing is a 1 to 8 player survival horror game where you and your friends must work together to stay alive by fishing. The only way to survive is to keep feeding the lake's insatiable hunger before it feeds on you. Can you satisfy the hunger, or will you become the next offering? You may be thinking, okay, cool, thanks for explaining the game, but could you maybe play it for us now? No, I am not going to play it for you guys because this is a lore video. Because what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to uncover the lore of Gone Fishing and explain it to you guys bit by bit. So for this video, I will just be going over the general lore of the game and also just what the first map looks like. I'm not going to be diving deep into any heavy lore yet, nor am I going to be theorizing just yet. This is just to get a feel for how I'm going to do the series. I'll just get you guys started with some basic information that I found out from one of the developers from asking a few questions. Very nice guy, by the way. Absolutely love him. But so supposedly Gone Fishing takes place on the moon Titan. If you didn't know, Titan is Saturn's largest moon. It's potentially habitable. We don't really know. Scientists haven't really messed with it that much to my knowledge, but yeah, that's where this takes place. There's not really much of a backstory that's like in stone yet. It's not cemented yet. So a lot of things are still up in the air until they get close to the end game update. That's the general information we need to know. I'll actually get to an interesting part. I know I'm boring you guys. So, in the first map, as soon as you start the game, a cutscene plays of you piloting a plane, presumably over the main location of where the map takes place. Shortly after the cutscene starts, the plane crashes with you inside of it. Looking closer at the plane, I did a little bit of research because the plane model looked very familiar to me, which at first I thought it was some type of crop duster, but after I did a bit of research, it turns out the exact model of the plane in the cutscene is a Cessna 172. Further research, I found out that the average price of a Cessna 172 could vary from $40,000 all the way to $675,000 US dollars. The main factor of this price is depending on how used the plane is, or if the plane is heavily refurbished and in near mint condition. But now this asks the question, why do we have a Cessna 172 and how do we even have the knowledge to be able to fly it? This probably doesn't matter to the lore, but I'm going to ask that question anyways. I currently don't have an answer to this question, so we'll come back to it later. Moving forward, after the plane crash, you wake up in a cabin. This cabin contains fishing rods, beer, beds, and also a radio. This is when the game truly starts. You grab a fishing rod, you go outside, and you fish. You can also grab different types of bait off of the ground, which helps you catch better fish. So for this map in specific, it seems to take place within a small lake of what seems to be a very mountainous area. Even though we are allegedly on the moon Titan, it seems to still be a very Earth-like place, a place very similar to how Earth is. As you can see, this is afterwards of the plane crash with the obvious, the wreckage, duh, and then the cabin is to your right, and then the lake where you fish is, well, right in front of you. I'm kind of making everything obvious, but this is also just filler. That there's not much else in the map that's going to catch your eye, except for the altar and the cave. The altar, I will talk more about the altar in a later video, but I will say the altar is a spot in which you have to sacrifice the fish that you catch to meet a daily quota. If you do not meet this daily quota, you die at the end of the day and you have to restart. So, yeah, that's that. And then looking at the cave, once you enter the cave, a message will pop up saying the air is still, but you're not alone. The creatures below can hear your voice and your footsteps, and something along the lines of keep quiet. Within the cave is a very famous gambling pit in which you could throw fish in for a chance for that fish to be transformed in something that's a much larger fish that has a better point value. There's also a lake deeper in the cave. Like I previously mentioned, this video is just to get a feel for how I want to do this series and just general information you need to know. And within this video, I've already introduced what the main map looks like, what you do in the game, and how you survive. Next video, I am planning on going into what monsters you can encounter on this map. That is all for now. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, leave a comment maybe. I'm going to try my best and put as much effort into this series as possible. Peace out!